can tell you, for me, I started with you guys over a year ago, and then I left, and that was as a single agent. I left and then came back this past June. So it's almost a year that I'm back. Since I came back in June, following a lot more of the new things that you guys have put out between when I left and when I came back was one of the reasons I said, well, let's look at this again. Between Raya, sellers and things like that. I said, let's look at it again. I came back in June, between June and November, spent a lot of time trying to dive in and really focus on YLOPO, and have since grown from, it was always myself and my wife were always working together, but we've grown from that, and we've now added 2 additional agents that are now in with us as well. So I think YLOPO was a big part of me being able to do that and grow our business that way. So it's been great since I came back. I felt lost. I felt like, wow, there's a lot here. I'm not utilizing it the way I should be. And I don't have the time and the energy to sit down and really learn everything. So I kind of felt like I wasn't getting the ROI that I was hoping to. So I left, but always stayed on top of the Facebook post. Oh, you know, still in the back of my mind thinking, you know what, down the road, this may be something that might be better for us. Between then and last June, you guys came out with so much new productivity that I'm like, all right, I'm growing, my business has grown, let's look at this again. I'm spending a lot of money elsewhere that I could probably not. You know, we had Zillow, we had Realtor.com, you know, we had, I don't even remember what it was called, Agentology at the time. I think they've since changed it. So I had all this other stuff. I'm like, you know what, I can cut a lot of this out. Let's funnel all that money into one place. Look at all these new tools that you guys developed, and you know, sales was really up on all of it and helped me to kind of learn it and understand it and kind of see that it was working. And I jumped back in June, cut back on a lot of the other things we were spending on, and you know, we've just been growing, and you know, we're probably doubling what we did last year. You know, and I'm not going to say it's all YLOPO, but it is a good chunk. And, you know, being able to drive leads in and drive them directly out to, you know, a couple of agents that we brought on board, you know, and using a lot of the tools to recruit those agents is a big plus too. So, you know, that's the main reason why I came back, but I left because it was overwhelming. Yes.
You are.
Yes.
You are. So you do that on pretty much all of your listings?
All of my listings, I'm doing them on when something really hot comes out on the market that's not necessarily my listing, but in my office, I'll talk to the agent, get their permission, and then boost those as well. I said to myself that I knew you're probably going to ask that, and I should probably look, but I never got the time to actually go back and look. But we've closed a bunch. I don't want to say it's been like 15, but we've closed at minimum 5 deals that I can dedicate directly from YLOPO. We have, fortunately, thank God, this time, with what we're going through right now, I've got 3 closings this week. 2 of those 3 were both from YLOPO. It is a lot of educating. I spend a lot of time with, and these are not all mine. One of those 3 are mine. Another is one of my buyer's agents. But I do have to spend quite a bit of time working with them, educating them, and you know, the training side of them using YLOPO, and what does it mean when you get this lead? What does it mean when Ryan is saying this? What should you do? I spend a lot of time doing that. Yeah. You know, but they're seeing a good value in it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I guess it's only a couple of them, so it's fairly manageable at this stage.
Yes, yeah. I mean, while I'm sitting here, I just got a text from one of the 2 agents that said, a friend of hers listed her house in South Jersey, which is outside of our area, but she wants me to create a video and a single property website to send to them to use because she got them as a buyer and signed an exclusive buyer's agreement because they're moving up here.
Nice.
I thought that was cool, just being able to use some of these features for someone that's out of our area, but yet still, you know, be able to do something in order to solidify a relationship. So I've got probably 3 solid pendings that are going to close in the next 4 weeks that were YLOPO leads.
Got it, got it. And when you say that YLOPO, it could have come from the remarketing as well, though, right? It's not just the acquisition from YLOPO.
Correct, correct. Yeah. I'd have to look for sure. I know the one in May, he's buying a foreclosure, and that was acquisition. That was a new lead, clicked on Facebook and then started looking, looked at this property 3 different times and all that. That I know for sure. The other one, I'd have to look to see it. I believe it might have been remarketing, and I believe it was actually one of my agents who we uploaded her database into YLOPO and then remarketed to it. I have to, don't quote me. I'd have to verify that. The biggest difference is keep listening and keep learning. The Facebook community is probably my #1 source. If I come up with a question before I send support or try to reach out to somebody, I go to the Facebook community, I go in the search, I type in what I'm looking for, and somebody at some point in time had the same question. So if nothing else, that's probably the biggest lesson in terms of using it and learning it. But outside of that, it's just, you have to just pay attention. Pay attention, watch the webinars, follow through on those, and then, you know, when you guys upload them, watch them, pause, and then do it. Then watch them, pause, and then do it, and it works.
Nice, nice.
If a lead came in, let's say right now, if it was a new lead that came in, it comes in, hits follow-up boss, we have it set where it'll, depending on what it is and what type of lead it is, who it's going to go to. So if it came to me, I pick up the phone within 5 minutes, I call the lead, have a conversation, and see where that takes us. If I'm unable or I can't make that call, you know, we hold off and Raya then picks up the conversation. If they respond to Raya today, meaning the 6 or 8 or 10 hours later, if there's no response, I'll call the next day in the morning. So I'll go into my AI engaged leads, make all those calls. I'll go into YLOPO priority leads, make all those calls, and go into any new leads and make all those calls. So if I'm able to react to it the second, you know, within 5 minutes of it coming in, we make the phone call. If not, I'm letting the system actually work it. And then we follow up with calls based on those 3 categories. The #1 thing I would tell them, if it was a single agent like that, would definitely be, you know, don't be overwhelmed by everything and don't try to accomplish everything that's offered to you all at once. Take it one step at a time, master that, and then go on to the next. So, you know, worry about acquisition and remarketing, how it works, how a lead's coming in, you know, what do all the tags mean? Master that before you then go on to, okay, what about Raya and everything she says? What is, you know, when should I follow up on that? When, you know, so I would say it's just, there's a lot that YLOPO has, and you will immediately get overwhelmed and lost if you try to do everything like, you know, in day 1. So for me, it would be just, you know, worrying about the main issues first is what's to do when a new lead comes in, what to do when you get a priority alert, worry about those, master that, and then move to the next steps, whatever that may be.